Welcome to Life Skills with Louie. Today we are talking about practical applications of mindfulness. If you haven't watched the introduction to this entire section, The Being Beyond, please do. And if you haven't watched the introduction to the entire video series, I encourage you to watch that because it orients you to all the different sections and when to use what. So as I said, today we're talking about the practical application of mindfulness. I have introduced, hopefully you've watched the other videos with the mindfulness principles, and I've introduced them all. And so then you might say, okay, well, what do I do with this? And so I have a couple things to say about that. First, after this video, there's some videos about formal practice. Formal meditation practice is extremely helpful. The way I recommend people do it is anchor it within your day multiple times a day. Could be small amounts, could be larger, whatever works for you, whatever's the best practice. Explore, listen to your intuition. What that formal practice does is it anchors a sense of confidence that you're showing up for yourself, a sense of sovereignty that you're in charge, and like a sense of authority. And it starts to spread out and affect the rest of your day when you're not doing formal practice. Informal practice is also just as important. This is when you consciously pay attention to the principles throughout the day. There's no right way to do this. You do what works, you listen to your own intuition, and I'll give you some basic guides. First, keep exploring. These principles are stepping off points for you to continue to do your own exploration. To give some examples of how you might do informal practice. The first thing I want to say is, coming back to the principle of gratitude, all of these abilities are happening all the time. This is not something new that you're bringing in. It's already happening in your brain and your psyche. You're enhancing it. You're honing it. So just having gratitude that you have the ability to observe, the ability to describe, the ability to participate in life, the ability to let go of judgment and see things in a more peaceful way, the ability to concentrate, to settle your attention, the ability to be effective, create, go after what you want in life and influence the world. And that this thing that I'm calling intuition exists. All of these are reasons to be grateful. And you can hone them. And so the way to hone them is through conscious practice. What I do is I'll choose when my mind is getting a little too scattered or wandering or feels off. And as you practice things more, you have a different baseline that's more clear and settled. So when that's gone, I will bring in one of these practices, whatever intuitively feels right. Perhaps I'll focus on observing, and that will bring me some clarity. Or I find I'm a little low energy, and so I practice the principle of participating, of letting go. There are also a lot of examples of practices. If you Google this, mindfulness, DBT mindfulness practices, you're going to get a lot of options. You can also look around at different meditations in mindfulness and see where these principles fit in. Oh, this really feels like a concentration, like a one mindfully type practice, or this is very much an observe and participate practice, So you can create your own language with these principles of what it's enhancing, what it's honing, and focus on what you like, what works, or maybe what you need to work on when you're challenging yourself a bit. And as always, to end this, listen to your own intuition, your inner knowing, get to know that ability and discern it as different from emotions, and pay attention to your intuition and always follow that first and foremost. I hope this is a helpful guide to begin practice and begin that exploration, which is lifelong and will, if you continue this, go on until the day you leave this earth. And thank you for listening.